and welcome to the Lao Jiaos Podcast. This is where we bring you unfiltered and unapologetic take on the news, current affairs, and all the things people pretend to understand. I'm your host, Jin Yong, and with me is fellow Lao Jiao, Amos. How are you doing?
Been a while. I feel like I say that every time. It's been a while since I saw Brendan. It's been a while since I saw you. It's been a while since I saw everyone. Yeah.
I think you were only on last week, right? Last week I was overseas.
Yes, I was.
It's your first time doing back-to-back episodes on the podcast. So how do you feel?
It's a job itself. No, but it's fun. I think this week's topic is very interesting. We'll get up to it in a bit. Yeah.
Okay, but I think the important thing that we have to talk about was that, have you seen all these crazy people queuing up for this outside all the Swatch stores days in advance to get their hands on this new collab watch?
I saw. It's been crazy. I think the different cities, we can go into detail later, but it's crazy, man. The things people will do for hype,
It's crazy, I tell you. Okay, so to give our listeners some context, right? So this is the Audemars or Adama Piquet X Swatch Royal Port collection, which created a massive hype in Singapore. Fans camp and queue for days outside outlets like Ion Orchard and Marina Bay Sands in hopes of getting the watches. So apparently it's not limited edition, but this is the very, very first time they are working together and releasing this first batch of watch. But many were left disappointed after stocks quickly sold out. Okay, so the launch actually sparked widespread complaints over poor crowd management, unofficial queue systems, and alleged queue cutting incidents with video of heated confrontations and frustrated buyers going viral as tensions rose among collectors and resellers. There's some people complain that some customer left with 20 pieces and are reselling them online at 200 or 300% markups. So I want to ask Amos, do you see the video of these people just crawling or queue cutting?
The Singapore one, the only video I saw was the guy. I think he was I think someone cut his queue. Then he was like, "Hey, everyone, look at this guy! Should we let this guy?" Yeah, I thought that was quite nice, quite brave of the guy,
Yeah. Calling out these guys bullshit. But I believe this was Singapore. That can you imagine the US, right? This queue cutter kena hantam, I tell you.
Cover kena shot or stab or punch or something. I don't know, man.
He left the store with the watch, right? But he didn't. He didn't make it back to his apartment alive to enjoy the watch.
He couldn't even post it on
haven't posted it. Do you understand the hype over this watch? And what's your thoughts about everyone complaining about the stocks selling out?
Okay, I don't follow all this hype stuff like what Labubu all this but I do get the appeal in that brands that collaborate with each other. I used to collect. I used to buy clothes that have collaborations and stuff like that. I think Uniqlo had quite a few when they first came to Singapore, they had quite a few collaborations. But then in terms of all this, when it comes to a certain point when there's when queues go crazy or when the prices go way off the charts, I think it's a bit insane.
Anytime this kind of collectors market go crazy, right? Then it spoils the market for people that genuinely enjoy collecting watches for the beauty of it, or it has sentimental value or whatnot.
Take away the joy of actually participating in that.
Yeah. So can you imagine today somebody really enjoys this Swatch and Audemars Piguet watch, right? They want to go buy. Then there's this I don't know, more than 50% idiots that queue just so that they can buy it at retail price, then they resell it or at 200-300% markup.
I don't know how people have the conscience to buy so many and then not feel bad about it.
Yeah, it's true, because it's not just watches that I how do you say, sometimes I go even hawker centers, right? You order 4 bowls of noodle, you also have to turn around and see, the people behind okay to wait or not, or is it a very long queue? I'll paiseh one, because how do you say, you're part of the queue, you don't want to be the idiot that then people hey, this idiot tapao 20 packets, this kind. So I really don't know how people can queue, and then apparently I heard that everybody is only limited to buy certain numbers, right? I don't know how some people just walk out with 20 pieces kind.
I think that one is a poor management on the brand side. I think they also faced that with the previous the Omega and Swatch one. So I think it's
the moon landing one,
Yeah, the moon landing one. So I think I feel the brand has to participate in this. If it's a commonality that you guys had in the previous collection, then it's clearly affecting you guys in this collection. Then you guys are not taking away any learning points from this. And I think people ought to recognize that there's an issue here. Sort out your damn queue management shit before you start rolling any collections out.
I don't know how easy or how difficult it is. To me, very simple thing is you just get one staff overnight to give out numbers, Then once you finish at 200 or 300, then you stop, right?
Yeah,
or else get them to register
online.
Correct.
Online registration.
Yeah. you give priority to those that have spent enough at Swatch. I feel that this is fair, right? If a customer spend at Swatch a certain amount, PIB, you should give it to them first.
Yeah, I think they should hire you to manage this.
I don't want, no thanks. I now say very easy that I go, I'm the one cannot flame. Then my face get viral online. Before we get into our episode, I will be talking about my segment of the week. Okay, so I wanted to share a very interesting experience from my trip in Japan. Okay, so I went Nagoya and the surrounding cities lah. So I went Hida, Takayama, I went Inuyama. Okay, so when I passed through Takayama, right, because we go the more countryside Japan lah. So you see all the buildings all very short, all very like the kind of like semi-D buildings. Then suddenly I see one like, wow, damn grand building, you know. Then they have this like this curved roof, like orange color one, damn big one. It's like the only building out of like the whole Takayama so big, right? Then it got a red ball on the top. So I'm like, I don't know what this is, right? But luckily, one of us drove past and then I caught the English translation of the name. Okay, so I actually went to do a research. Lo and behold, this is actually the Tsukio Mahikari World Shrine. Apparently, to some people, it's a belief. Apparently, to some people, it's a cult. The biggest thing that people point to them and scold them for is that they have this thing called light healing, where they feel that you got cancer, you got what, don't need to do treatment. Our prophet or our like head, right, just use light to heal you, then everything will recover one.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that sounds cultish.
Yes, it sounds cultish, and a lot of people have came out and say that. I say how to say, they have came out from the cult and like say that I was part of the cult. You know, if you're cultish, they start taking away your money, taking away your stuff and whatnot lah. Okay, so I don't know whether it's saving grace or not. I searched online, there wasn't any like quote unquote sex scandal, which is how a lot of this cult like break out. I realized this cult has a branch in Singapore. Okay, and Rise Media actually went and interviewed them, I think 10 years back. They followed one of the members into the worship grounds, and then their conclusion was very halal. They say that, we followed her for 2 days, you know, with some activities, we went to the thing. We cannot decide whether this is a cult or not because we were just like at the outside, you know, we just did prayers, all these things, so we don't know whether it's a cult or not, which I think is fair. It doesn't shed a lot of light on this whole religion and whatnot lah. I am very, very intrigued but very, very scared at the same time because a lot of people have posted and said that they actually went in and see some of the exhibits. They have an aquarium. Apparently, it's very nice. But a lot of people also say you have to be careful because people approach you, they will ask you to join. Then once you join, right, it's like step by step, slowly brainwash until you feel like, I'm knee deep in this shit. I cannot get out.
Were you guys curious to the point where you guys wanted to step off and then go?
I was curious. Okay, but my other two friends, they were like, we have a place we need to go. I'm like, so I had to Google lah. Then I'm like, this is like, I went down the rabbit hole a while for the Google.
They saved you lah. They saved you.
yeah, correct. I don't know whether I'll get the chance to go back, but hopefully I'll remain sane when I come out from there.
That's crazy, man.
Before our episode, a word from our sponsor. This week's episode of The Chit Chatter is brought to you by our friends at CityMusic, your one-stop shop for all things music and podcast related right here in Singapore. Whether you're picking out your first instrument, upgrading your setup, or starting a podcast, CityMusic has you covered. From guitars, keyboards and amps, microphones and full podcast setups, cameras, lighting and streaming gear, everything you need to create, record and perform at the highest level is all in one place. They also carry a wide range of microphones for every budget. Some of us at a Chit Chatter even use the Zoom ZDM1, a solid podcast mic that delivers great quality at nearly half the price of many popular options. If you're looking to start your own music or podcast journey, be sure to check out CityMusic's website or head down to their store today. A big thanks to our friends at CityMusic for supporting the Chit Chatter. And now back to the episode. Okay, so as we get into our main news segment, the first news is this deepfake scam using this Zoom meeting with Lawrence Wong Taman, and the victim actually was scam of 4.9 million. Okay, so actually Singapore Police has released footage of a fake Zoom meeting used in a sophisticated scam involving deepfake versions of Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, President Taman and Minister Indrani Raja after a victim lost at least 4.9 million. Now, scammers allegedly posed as senior government officials had invited victims to a virtual meeting discussing urgent funding assistance linked to the Strait of Hormuz situation. And according to the police, victims were first contacted through WhatsApp and email, where they impersonate the secretary to the cabinet and send fake government documents, including NDAs and letters supposedly signed by PM Wong, guaranteeing reimbursement within 15 business days. After attending the deepfake Zoom meeting, They will then pressure into transferring money to the scam control accounts. Now, authorities warn that scammers are increasingly using AI-generated faces, voices, and forged documents to target business professionals, and reminded that Singapore government officials will never ask for money transfer or sensitive banking details through calls, emails, or virtual meetings. After reading the news, what were your immediate thoughts?
I can't believe at this day and age that people still can get scammed. Okay, to be fair. So I work in public institution, right?
Yeah.
They also have this regular, like, what you call that? Phishing email.
Okay, yes.
So
Yeah.
I've been susceptible to it also. I've caved in also. But then I asked myself also, on the hindsight, I think it's negligence. I think people just don't do their due diligence when they click on links and stuff like that. They don't like go and check the sender They don't go and see what the news is about Obviously, in what world that the Prime Minister will actually ask you for money? Let's be real Let's be real. If you're like the CEO of like Media or something, like you're Jensen Huang, why would our president and our PM ask you over a Zoom call? They would make a trip down to go and ask you for money, right? And they will do it in the most political way.
This one actually happened to me. The principal at NTU want to meet you. Then it actually coincides with some, with some current affairs happening that we thought that, this is really something that might happen because something happened within the industry that we thought, this is a possible collaboration. So I actually marked that thing on my calendar, And then the day before was when we suspected something amiss when they keep calling and say, so now, before you meet the principal, right, we need you to help us pay for this painting thing first, or this thing. So then after that, we reimburse you. Yeah, I'm SARS already. So I really called the principal office and I called the PA and say, so your principal have a meeting with like my publishing company and say, sorry, I think they are most likely scam. But apparently, I'm not the only one. They're like, you're the, I don't know, fourth or fifth person doing this. I really think deepfake and AI-generated voices are becoming the new normal for these scammers. So, to you, what do you think is the best way that we can like guard against all these kind of funny things?
Double checking, like what you did, I think was very good that you double check. Because most people, when they are in the net already, they always feel like, wow, who do I ask or who should I ask? They don't know, first and foremost, they don't know who to ask. And then whether they should even go and ask it. So the fact that you went to the source itself to ask it was the right decision, I would say.
Yeah.
Verify your sources, like with friends or whoever.
As Singaporeans, right, we kiasu of a lot of things, but be more kiasu of your money. Anytime money gets involved, anytime people text you about they text you about simple things like, hey, friend, very long catch up, I think texting back to me is okay lah. But anytime they ask you to set up digital wallet, can you give me $200 or this bank account, can you put like $50 in? This is the time I think alarm bell should ring because we are kiasu about so many things. You should be more kiasu about your own money and ask more questions before you make sure that you make the transfer for the money. Spoken to some like overly friendly customers thinking that they are customers, and then a few days later they suddenly, why don't you download this digital wallet? I'm like, okay, this is suspicious. So after that, no more texting already. Yeah. Like I always say, no amount of public education will be as effective as ourselves understanding that we have to be more vigilant, ask more questions, and be more careful about our own money. That's the only way I can see it.
If you want to be greedy, just buy Toto or 4D. That one, at least your money is going to the pot.
It's going to government. And they actually do some good. Tote board got do a bit of good. A bit of charity here and there. Okay, so our second news. A 30-year-old man was allegedly filming upskirt videos at Dhoby Ghaut MRT but was apprehended by members of public after trying to flee. The incident happened on May 15 when bystanders noticed suspicious behavior and confronted him. And he allegedly attempted to run away before being restrained until police officers arrived at the scene. Now, he was subsequently arrested for insulting the modesty of a woman with police investigations ongoing, but the case has sparked discussions online about the importance of public vigilance and intervention in preventing voyeurism-related offences in Singapore, with many netizens praising the quick actions of commuters who stepped in to stop the suspect from escaping.
I think when one guy shouted like molester or something, right?
Yeah.
Or something, then like a few other guys just came to stop the guy. I think these kind of scenes are very it's a rarity in Singapore. You don't really see it much. Because I think Singaporeans are like very, you stay out of my lane, I stay out of your problem kind of people. To see that happen, I think that was quite encouraging. I think for me also, I also very hamchi. But I think in this kind of situation, when I see another person step in, I will also be more encouraged to let's do it together. You know what I mean?
Correct. When this kind of thing happen to people don't dare to speak up, right? Or they feel that, this kind of thing, 忍一忍就过了. Okay, this kind of thing. I feel that it's, I mean, I understand that they have their own right to do what they want to do with it. But sometimes, reporting and like telling people that, hey, this is happening and then sounding out, right? It's more helpful because you stop this man means that he will stop going on to harm other women. The person that chased after him also like shouted like, hey, catch this catch this pervert or whatnot, and then people all step in together. Even nowadays, you see MRT, they got the poster also, no upskirt video. Then you say if you see it, you report it, right? And then all the MRT staff will come and so-called help you or provide assistance. The biggest positive is that people came together and stopped this perpetrator. Because if you only one person chase after him, right, I feel that he would have gotten away. Why do you think people conduct voyeurism? Because I, for my life, cannot understand this.
The fact that you will never get caught, but then maybe you don't get sexually aroused by those clips, but it's just the thrill of doing but never getting caught. Okay, so I came from all boys school, right? This upskirting thing is not new to me, because I've heard it since 13, 16 years ago, right? People using upskirt videos on teachers. For me, one of the things that people actually do it is, I didn't do it myself, but I think people do it because they feel like, okay, they will never get caught and let's see how far I can go before I get caught. Whether they are sexually attracted to that is a separate case altogether, I feel.
A lot of the male students did that because it was like, hey, I dare you to, or it was fun. It wasn't so much of a perverse kind of, yeah. But I think when you reach a certain age, right, when you do this knowing that it's wrong, and then you still keep videos of it, tons of it, then okay, I think this one is it calls for mental health assessment really. I would say it's very hard to tell women that you should not feel safe when you take public transport. And then it's also very hard to tell women that you should dress more modestly, not this kind of thing will happen to you. But I just feel that if this kind of thing happened to you, I would say please consider voicing out, because if you don't voice out, people won't know, then it's a lesser chance that action will be taken.
But I think also thinking from the woman's point of view, okay, so I don't have friends who got upskirted, but I think when they get touched or something, right, sometimes they're just too stunned to speak, so they just freeze in action.
Yeah.
And then how do we recover from that? By the time we recover, maybe the perpetrator run away already. Then how? People around them also can, like what Jing Yong said, just make aware of this whole situation. Whether it's whether you assume or you think it is, then at least just bring to light the situation that people around can confirm and can hold the person to account.
Our last news, Brand Talk founder Sam Heady is facing a backlash after multiple business claim paid content was never delivered. Now, he has recently come under scrutiny after multiple Singapore business owners alleged that they have paid in thousands of dollars upfront for video marketing packages that were either poorly executed or never fully delivered. Now, at least 12 businesses collective paid over $154,000 to the company, with some turning to the small claims tribunals and lodging police report after repeated delays. Sam Heady has denied allegations that he has intentionally scammed clients. Now, he attributed the issues to financial difficulties, operational setbacks, and manpower problems within the company. He also maintained that he has a no refund policy once production work began, though legal experts noted that such clauses may not be enforceable if agreed services were not delivered. What is your take on this, and how you think small business can better protect themselves before signing contracts with digital marketing agencies?
Wow, hold up. In the first place, who the heck is this Sam Heady guy? And he looks so exactly.
Why is he commanding a few $1,000s in terms of marketing things? A few $1,000s. Can you imagine 12 companies, $154,000? How much each company pay him on average for marketing campaign?
Just come to us. Just come to Chit Chatter. We will make your bang for your buck. Our producer will thank you so much.
Hey, you pay me a few thousand, I'll be your what? I'll be your godson for that few days.
Yeah. Okay, so I used to work for small PR agencies that also, and also used to be in the industry. First and foremost, if you were the client, right, I think read the contract through and through. And if there's any point in time that you're not clear about any terms on the contract, please clarify. You don't want it to bite you at the down the line when and then when they cannot deliver, then there's a he say, she say kind of situation. You don't want to be caught in the whole shebang. So just clarify and be clear on the terms and conditions when you sign it.
But I think the other thing that I normally like to do nowadays, especially in industries in Singapore where it's really, really small, is to do some fact checking. For example, the world I live in, the literary world, or be it the government agency world, healthcare industry. Sometimes Singapore is smaller than you think. Okay, you ask this person, right? Ask around, right? Somebody will know something about what you have heard of before, right? So even let's say you ask the people that you know, right? You don't hear anything about them, right? It also tells you something about the company, right? To ask around to get a sentiment. And then you will see where this company actually stands now. So I have hardly met any people that will speak about companies very two extremes one. They are either very good or very bad. Okay, they are either all slanting against one side, or they'll be oh, sorry, this one, no comment. Then you roughly know that this is where you stand. Are you willing to take the risk? Or if you want to take the risk, then you have to be conscious that this money might be money not well spent. Digital marketing companies or some content creators, because you want their name, right?
Yes.
But sometimes, they are not the actual one doing the job. You don't know how well they run businesses.
Like what you said about fact checking, right? I think it can come in a way also of asking for quotes, and
Yeah.
don't feel bad about it, because I think the government practices this where they ask for at least minimum of 3 quotes. After a certain amount, maybe more than 10K or more than 50K, they'll ask for 3 quotes just to see the price competitiveness and whether they're making a bang for their buck. Obviously, sometimes it's hard to do an apple-to-apple comparison, but then where where it circulates around a certain figure or range, then you know, okay, maybe this business is legit or the items that they're gonna deliver to you, it's legit Yeah.
If you want to go into this space, just do some fact checking. Doesn't hurt to ask around people that you know. I feel that you will roughly know, what's the sense of the company, because Singapore really very small, especially in the working world, right? If you just go around, ask, right, I feel that somebody will tell you something about the company. So before we end the show, we would like to go with a round of quick fire news for our Alamak meter. Okay, the first news is Singapore radio DJ Sonia Chew, 34, has married investment backer Jeremy Seng in a church wedding held at the Church of St. That along Zion Road. Now, it was attended by around 300 guests, including local media personalities, documented their wedding preparations through MediaCorp's Countdown to I Do series.
I don't know whether it's a smart, dumb, or plain alamak, because I can't bucket it in anywhere. But if I were to bucket it anywhere, it would be smart, I guess. Because
it's kind of a heartwarming thing,
Yeah, it's a very kind of thing, But I'll say smart, I guess.
Special day, special moment for a special person, then, your parents around healthy enough to walk you down the aisle. I think it's a good memory to have.
Yeah, it's quite cute.
IKEA Singapore is set to host a large-scale hide-and-seek competition at its Alexandra outlet on June 6 and 7, where teams of 2 will race to find professional hiders camouflaged throughout the store for a chance to win 1 million IKEA family points worth $10,000. The free event, limited to 200 participants, quickly drew attention online for turning a childhood game into a real-life competition inside the furniture store, with many Singaporeans joking that getting lost in IKEA was already part of the normal shopping experience.
They're not wrong though.
Yeah, quite smart, don't you think? It makes me want to take part also.
It's smart, but then I feel they will regret this because it's gonna be so messy, man. Like logistically, can you imagine? That's crazy.
Okay, the only thing I can see go wrong with this is, number one, what if people get too enthusiastic, they break your bed, they break your mirror or whatnot. You want them to race around your place, right? You got so many furniture, right? What if they trip and fall? Then later injury, how? Unless you ask them sign Oh yeah, Alexandra. Okay, yeah. I just feel that because it's what hide and seek, right? I think there'll be running, there'll be excitement, and then I just think that it's an accident waiting to happen. I hope they stream this or they put the video on this online.
Stream this, IKEA Singapore. If you are listening to us, stream this on YouTube.
The third news: 12 coffee shops in Singapore have completed toilet renovations or started deep cleaning works after tapping on NEA grants aimed at improving public toilet hygiene, with funding covering up to 95% of costs for upgrades such as anti-slip tiles, brighter lighting, better ventilation, and sensor taps.
So funny thing right, is that I've worked on this campaign twice in my life, in my whole advertising life. This campaign has been a long-standing, I think close to 20 years campaign. They keep doing it in public spaces like
Nothing
parks.
is improving.
They're spending the same budget, and the narrative is about the same. It's just different things that they're talking about. It's just press the flush the toilet kind of thing, right? I don't know. I think it's just something wrong with Singaporeans. They just need to be educated the right way. I think put this in the school education, that might have a bigger impact, I feel.
I agree. I go to Japan, right? I'm always so stunned by how their public toilets, how clean they are.
Yeah.
I can't say the same about Singapore public toilets. Ion, Orchard, this kind of shopping mall toilet, don't say that.
Yeah.
But the coffee shops, the hawker centers, it's like blind box. That was our Lao Jiaos Podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, please remember to like and subscribe. If the episode comes out every Friday. But at the same time, if you're into football, with the Full Khaki that drops every Wednesday, and our Cool People Show, where we interview fun and amazing guests from all Singapore every Monday. Now we hope that everyone has a great week ahead. But remember,
we don't always talk cock,
but sometimes we do.
Woo!